So we've talked about vectors, introduced them as objects that have both magnitude and direction. And we've also discussed scalar multiplication and addition and subtraction of vectors. Let's position vectors onto a 2D coordinate system. And then we will talk about addition and subtraction in this context. So in this image, you can see that we have points P with coordinates x1, y1, and Q with coordinates x2, y2 in the first quadrant of the xy plane. If I take P as my tail of the vector and Q as the head of a vector, then we have put a vector u into our two-dimensional coordinate system. So vector u is just the vector from P to Q. Now, vector v, which can also be represented as the vector PQ, is defined as the vector where we subtract the corresponding coordinates of the points P and the point Q. For example, so if our P is the point x1, y1, and Q is the point x2, y2, then PQ, the vector PQ, will be the difference between the corresponding x coordinates of the points, starting with Q first and then P, and the difference between the y components, or the y coordinates of each point. Now, let me say a few things about this. We have created a vector. This is a vector. The notation that we use, these brackets, is vector notation. And each component here represents, this is the x component of the vector. This is the y component of the vector. And when we have, so this x2 minus x1 can be represented in the above diagram by the horizontal distance between P and Q. So I'm drawing it as horizontal blue line. That blue line segment is x2 minus x1. And the pink line segment that I'm about to draw, this line segment is y sub 2 minus y sub 1. When we create a vector that has components x2 minus x1, y2 minus x1, we've moved it. We've just translated it so it starts at the origin. And we call that a position vector. So this vector is called a position vector. I'm going to show you with an example, but let me just define it first. Position vector, PQ, whose tail will be at the origin and points in the same direction and has the same magnitude as u, as the vector u. We've basically just translated vector u to the origin. Let me show you with an example. Suppose that we have point P has coordinates 3, 4, and let's say point Q has coordinates 5, 7. Let's sketch these 2 points and draw the vector from P to Q. So let me do this big enough so we can all see here. Okay, so the point 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's our point P. And the point Q is 5, 5, 7. So here's our point Q. And so this vector, we can call this vector, vector u. We can't call it the vector PQ. That means something else. The vector PQ is actually a position vector. It's going to be a vector that starts at the origin, and we obtain it by subtracting corresponding components. So I'm going to use this bracket notation to say we're dealing with a position vector. This is always represents a position vector that starts at the origin. The tail is at the origin. And I'm going to subtract corresponding components. So the first component of this vector is going to be 5 minus 3, which is 2. The second component of this vector will be 7 minus 4, which is 3. All right, notice that the distance, horizontal distance between the two components, x components of x, that distance is 2 units, right? From 3 to 5. And this length, that distance, is 3 units from 4 to 7. But what we've done when we write this as a new vector, 2, 3, is we've moved the vector so that here's 2. I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to go horizontally to 2, and I'm going to go up 3 units. And now this vector right here, that is vector PQ. This is a position vector, starts at the origin, has the same magnitude and direction as u, right? So this position vector starts at the origin, tail is at the origin, has the same origin. I don't know what I'm writing here because I'm talking at the same time. So origin, same magnitude and direction as vector u. But when we subtracted corresponding components, we translated the vector so that it would have a tail at the origin. But we maintained that slope of 3 halves. So this is very important. What a position vector is that it always starts at the origin. The tail is at the origin. Okay, let's talk about, I've been mentioning this word magnitude and length a lot. We can actually find it. So let's talk about how we find the magnitude of a vector, and then we'll do a short example. Okay, if we look back at just general positioning of vectors, so I'm going to start the same way that I started the discussion above by just drawing a coordinate system here and placing 2 points P and Q on the 2D coordinate plane, the 2D plane. Here's x, here's y, and let's say that I have my point P here whose coordinates are x1, y1, and we have point Q here whose coordinates are x2, y2, and vector u is the vector that goes from the point P to the point Q. We can find the length of that vector because we can form a right triangle and use the Pythagorean theorem to find the length of u. So note that the horizontal distance, so this length right here, that's just going to be x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And this vertical distance right here is going to be y sub 2 minus y sub 1. So the magnitude of u, when we're going to denote that with 2 bars, our vector u enclosed by these 2 bars, so this means magnitude or length of u and we know that by the Pythagorean theorem, the length of u squared will be 1 leg squared, so x2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. And so if I just want the magnitude, I can take the square root of both sides. So here the magnitude of u is going to be, we'll take the positive root, we'll say that magnitude will always be positive because it represents a length, of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So that is the magnitude of a vector u. Now, one note here is what textbooks do that's slightly different than the way that I denote magnitude. Many textbooks write magnitude using the absolute value symbol instead of those double bars. That is perfectly fine. Just that is what my math lab will do when you do your homework. Just want you alert you to the difference in notation. I use 2 bars so as not to confuse this with absolute value. Now, if the vector whose magnitude we're finding is already a position vector, let's talk about that for a moment. So suppose that we have, here's our coordinate system. Oops, no, I used the wrong tool here. There's our coordinate system. And I have my little vector here that's a position vector. Let's call it, I don't know, V. Then the tail of V is just 0, 0. And we can call the head of V, let's call it V1, V2. So that this distance from here to here is of length V1, and this distance is V sub 2. We're not going to need to subtract corresponding components because the tail is 0, 0. So this is helpful because then when V is a position vector, which means that its tail is at the origin, then the magnitude of V is just going to be the square root of each component squared, right? Because notice, if we do V1 minus 0, that's just going to be V1 squared, plus V2 minus 0 will be V2 squared. So when we're working with a position vector, the magnitude of a position vector is just the square root of each component of the vector squared. So here, V1 and V2 are the components of vector V. In other words, V can be written as the vector bracket V1, V2, and we can find the magnitude of V by just taking the square root of the squares of the components. Let's do one quick example and then we'll wrap up this video. All right, so let's suppose that P is at the point -3, 4, and Q is the point 6, 5. Let's find the position vector PQ. We'll do that first. And secondly, let's find the magnitude of PQ. We'll do that second. All right, so part A, to find our position vector PQ, we subtract corresponding components. And since the vector starts at P, we're going to subtract P from Q, the components of P, the coordinates of P from the coordinates of Q. Subtract corresponding coordinates. So our vector PQ now will be a position vector. We've translated it to the origin. So we're going to use the bracket notation. And we'll do, for the x component, we'll subtract -3 from 6. So 6 minus -3. And our y component will be 5 minus 4, starting with Q first. If we were looking at the vector QP, we would start with P first. So this gives us the vector 9, 1. If we want to draw this vector, we can, this position vector PQ, we can take our coordinate system, and we know the horizontal component of this vector is 9. So I would go 9 units along x and 1 up. And so this vector PQ looks like that. It has the same magnitude and direction as the vector that we would get if we just plotted point P and point Q and drew the vector between them. Now let's find the magnitude of this position vector. So to find the magnitude of PQ, since it's a position vector, all we need to do is take the square root of the components of the, I'll just do x, I guess I'll just call it the components of PQ, x and y. So x squared plus y squared. Now the components are 9 and 1. So we're going to take the square root You could call this v1, v2, whatever you would like. So v1 squared plus v2 squared also. So we'll do 9 squared plus 1 squared, and that's going to be the square root of 82. So the length of this vector is the square root of 82. So here we've positioned a vector on the 2D coordinate plane. We talked about position vectors whose tail starts at the origin, and we just translate the vector by subtracting corresponding components. And we also then were able to talk about the magnitude of a vector, which is just the length of the vector. And to do that, we use the Pythagorean theorem or the distance formula.